Hey guys, Ryan Martian here, and today I wanted to quickly review Nicholas Winding Refn's newest film, The Neon Demon. This will be a spoiler-free discussion, and I will try to be as vague as possible, but if you want to go in completely fresh, you have been warned. I don't know what to think of this film. I could leave it at that because in some ways, it truly sums up how I feel overall. Is it a parody? Is it an inside joke? Is it supposed to be taken seriously? I really can't say for sure. After being very disappointed with his previous film, Only God Forgives, Winding Refn really only had one direction he could go, and that was up. The Neon Demon is indeed a better film in pretty much every facet, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a great film. It's probably his best-looking film to date, and that says a lot, because even though Only God Forgives was an incoherent mess, his films always look beautiful, and it's almost impossible to look away. Cliff Martinez's soundtrack is, without question, his best to date. The electronica perfectly suits the environment and surroundings. We are once again in Los Angeles, Winding Refn's home away from home, along with the tone and subject matter of the film. I will be buying the soundtrack as soon as I possibly can. The opening shot fused all these aspects together perfectly, and I admit I got some goosebumps. Unfortunately, that feeling was few and far between for the rest of the film. The acting from the leads, Elle Fanning and Jenna Malone, was top-notch. Malone might have given the performance of her lifetime, and Fanning cemented herself as an actress to pay attention to as she matures even further. That being said, I don't understand why Keanu Reeves is given serious roles. He's probably the nicest person on the planet, but I just can't take him seriously. His presence was an absolute distraction during the few scenes he was in, and as a result, it took me completely out of the film. Once again, Christina Hendricks gets top billing for only one scene. She received similar billing in Drive, and it makes even less sense in the context of this film because her total screen time was approximately 5 minutes. I sometimes wonder if Winding Refn's earlier films, like The Wonderful Bronson and Brilliant Drive, were films he really attempted to put his full artistic vision into. Although it is important to mention that those two films were adapted from existing material. Only God Forgives and The Neon Demon were original scripts, and they expose a major flaw in his filmmaking process: his writing. To say this film has more dialogue than Only God Forgives would be the understatement of the century, but it's still the weakest aspect of these films, and I hope he returns to adapted material in the future. His films have always had a very similar mood and distinct style, but as he has progressed in his career, they have become more and more abstract. Sometimes that works, in the case of David Lynch's Mulholland Drive, and sometimes it doesn't. Stanley Kubrick's Eyes Wide Shut. It's almost as if he's saying to the world, you like those earlier films? Fine, here's my 100% no-holds-barred, absolute true cinematic vision. How do you like me now? The Neon Demon is not a terrible film, but it didn't satisfy my expectations. Without spoiling the details of the ending, it did appear to be pretty figurative and far less metaphorical than Only God Forgives. Or was it? I interpret it as a direct response to the criticism of Only God Forgives, and it's a question that will leave you thinking, for better or for worse, after you leave the theater. Overall, I would give this film a 6.8 out of 10. If I had to give it a score based solely on the direction, cinematography, soundtrack, and acting, it would, without hesitation, receive a solid 9. The script, however, is no more than a 5, and it soils what could have been a great rebound from the major disappointment of Only God Forgives. If you're a fan of Sia, I would suggest staying to the very end of the film because there's a brand new song of hers that plays over the end credits, and it's probably one of her best. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this review, please drop a like or subscribe. Thanks again.